Picture this. You're sitting in a meeting, not particularly tired, when someone across the room yawns. Suddenly, inexplicably, you feel your own jaw stretching wide in response. You couldn't stop it, even if you tried. We've all been there. Contagious yawning is one of those universal human experiences we rarely think about until it happens. But here's what makes it fascinating. You're not yawning because you're tired, or because your brain needs oxygen. You're yawning because you saw someone else do it. Today we're diving deep into the surprising psychology behind contagious yawning, uncovering why this seemingly simple reflex is actually a profound window into our social connections, our capacity for empathy, and even our evolutionary history. This isn't just about a biological quirk. It's about what makes us fundamentally human. Let's start with the most compelling theory about why yawning spreads like wildfire: empathy. Research has revealed something remarkable. The more empathetic you are, the more susceptible you are to contagious yawning. This isn't coincidence. Multiple studies have found a direct correlation between an individual's empathy levels and how often they catch yawns from others. Think about that for a moment. Your ability to unconsciously mimic someone else's yawn is linked to your capacity to understand and share their feelings. Scientists believe contagious yawning is a primitive form of social bonding, a nonverbal way of saying "I'm tuned into you." And here's where it gets even more interesting. We're significantly more likely to catch yawns from people we're close to. You'll yawn more in response to your best friend, your partner, or your family member than you will to a complete stranger. The stronger the emotional bond, the stronger the yawn contagion. This suggests that contagious yawning isn't just about empathy in general. It's about our specific social connections, our emotional proximity to others. It's a biological marker of how much we care. So what's actually happening in your brain when you catch a yawn? Neuroscience has started mapping the specific regions involved, and the findings are fascinating. When you see someone yawn, particular areas of your brain light up. Not just the motor cortex responsible for the physical act of yawning, but regions associated with social cognition and empathy. This is where mirror neurons come into play. These specialized brain cells fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing that same action. They're essentially your brain's empathy machinery, allowing you to internally simulate what others are experiencing. Mirror neurons help you understand intentions, emotions, and actions by mirroring them in your own neural circuitry. When someone yawns, your mirror neurons activate, creating an unconscious urge to mimic that behavior. Interestingly, conditions that affect social cognition change how contagious yawning works. Studies have shown that individuals with autism spectrum disorder, which can involve differences in social processing and empathy expression, often show reduced susceptibility to contagious yawning. This isn't about capability or worth. It's simply evidence that contagious yawning is deeply intertwined with the brain's social wiring. But why did this develop in the first place? What evolutionary advantage could possibly come from compulsively mimicking someone else's yawn? Researchers have proposed some intriguing theories. One leading hypothesis suggests contagious yawning served as a group synchronization mechanism for our ancestors. Imagine early human groups living in close proximity, needing to coordinate sleep-wake cycles and maintain collective alertness to threats. When one member of the group yawned, signaling a state change, perhaps preparing for sleep or transitioning to wakefulness, that yawn would ripple through the entire group, helping everyone synchronize their internal biological clocks. This would have provided significant survival advantages. A group that sleeps together and wakes together is better coordinated for hunting, gathering, and defense. Some researchers even speculate that contagious yawning helped maintain group vigilance. When one person yawned, indicating decreased alertness, seeing others yawn in response might have served as a social cue to remain alert collectively, almost like a communal wake-up call. This kind of unconscious coordination would have been crucial for early human survival and cooperation. What's truly remarkable about contagious yawning is what it reveals about our fundamental nature as social beings. This simple, unstoppable reflex is actually a sophisticated social tool, evidence of our deep neurological capacity for connection and empathy. It shows us that we're wired, at the most basic biological level, to tune into others, to unconsciously synchronize with those around us, especially those we care about. Your vulnerability to catching a yawn isn't weakness. It's evidence of your social connectivity. Looking ahead, researchers continue exploring what contagious yawning can teach us. Future studies may reveal even more about the neurological basis of empathy, how social bonds form and strengthen, and how we can better understand conditions that affect social processing. Every yawn might contain insights into human consciousness, connection, and community. So the next time you catch a yawn from someone across the room, pause for a moment. Appreciate what just happened. Your brain just performed an extraordinary feat of social connection, linking you unconsciously to another human being through a reflex you couldn't control even if you wanted to. That's not just biology. That's the invisible thread that binds us together as a species. Now I want you to pay attention to your own yawning patterns over the next few days. Who makes you yawn? When are you most susceptible? What does your contagious yawning tell you about your own empathy and social connections? Share your observations, because understanding this simple reflex helps us understand ourselves and each other just a little bit better.